Waknya ku wangami Good afternoon. My name is Kate Tyler Webber, and my role here today is to help celebrate the life of Lynette Daphne Godden, or as you all knew her as Lynn. Lynn passed away on the 21st of August. Lynn was 76 years old. And on behalf of Bill and Lynn's family, I would like to welcome every one of you here today and to say a big heartfelt thank you for your presence. And the family also likes to acknowledge those who aren't able to be here with the current restrictions, but like to acknowledge on behalf of the family those who are watching online today to say their farewells. For those who've joined us online, firstly, a big thank you for taking time out of your day to join with the family. Although you're not physically here, your presence is definitely felt by the family. For those here in the chapel today, not being physically present is heartbreaking for them, and saying your goodbyes through a screen is just not right. On behalf of Scott, Lynn's son, I will now read his words. Lynn was born at Paddington Women's Hospital on the 11th of June 1945. Her parents were Phyllis and Ronald Evans. She had two older brothers, Terry and Ken, one older sister, Joan, and her baby brother, Peter. She went to Mascot Public School and then Gardners Road High School. She grew up in Mascot. Before she married Bill, she worked as a telephonist at Rosebery. She met Bill at the local football and they fell in love and a couple of years later married in 1965. They remained happily married for 56 years. Their marriage was full of ups and downs, and it was never boring. There wasn't always lots of money, but there was lots of love. She also worked cleaning holiday homes at Edelong, Angel's Pies in Wyoming, and went on to cleaning schools on the Central Coast for many years before she retired. Bill and Lynn lived in Narrabeen at Mascot. They flew across to Western Australia with Kelly as a toddler. While they were there, Lynn got her driver's licence after many years of trying. She was always so nervous, she kept failing. And the old country copper in Western Australia felt sorry for her and gave it to her after saying after all these years he'd never met anyone as anxious as her. Even after all of that, she never overcame those nerves, so she never renewed her licence or drove again. They then drove back from Western Australia to New South Wales, where they lived at Fairlight, and they went on to have their second child, Scott. They then moved to Avalon, then moved up to Edelong on the Central Coast, when they ended up living for 41 years in Wyoming. Lynn was a very strong and loving wife to Bill, loving, doting mother to Kelly and Scott, greatest mother-in-law to Angie, kindest loving nan to Ben, Jessie and Billy, nan-in-law to Emily, Cheyenne and Millie, sweetest grand nan to Harper and Arlo. She always got great enjoyment out of receiving the latest videos and photos of Arlo boy and the girlfriend. She would proudly show them to anyone who came to visit, whether they wanted to see them or not. She was so excited to meet her third grandbaby sooner, but sadly, she couldn't wait any longer. She also dearly loved her nieces and nephews and got an enormous pleasure catching up with them and hearing about little Noah's latest adventures. Lynn was hardworking and a remarkable, selfless woman who always went without to give to others, especially spoiling her grandchildren. She always put her family first and never wanted to bother anyone or put anyone out. Lynn had a passion and a special connection to all animals, nature and Mother Earth. She passed this on to her children and her grandchildren. She loved fishing, gardening, and human nature. She was a red-hot rock and roll dancer and an ice skater in her younger days. Lynn also thoroughly enjoyed being a greyhound trainer with Bill. And her last babies, Muffin and Jinder, are lost at home without her. Lynn will be greatly missed by her family. Can I ask Kelly and Ben to come up now to share?
My mum, even though we knew you were so sick and getting tired, I still can't believe you've gone. I really wanted to thank you for everything and share with everyone all of the unique and special things about you. But know that there will be never enough words or time to go anywhere covering it all. So I'll just speak about some of the standouts and a few special memories we'll always treasure about you. You were the best ever wife, Mum, Nana and Nan. You were always a strong and proud Darug Wanneroo woman. You were our matriarch. Growing up, you always put me and Scott first. You went without all the time to make sure we could have everything we needed. We always had a slap-up Christmas and a big fuss cake and candles on all our birthdays. We weren't always rich with material things, but we were millionaires if you could put a price on the love you surrounded us with. You instilled in us the meaning of respect. Respect for our mob, our elders, our culture, ourselves and Mother Earth. You were gentle and quiet most of the time, but if anyone did anything or appeared to threaten me or Scott, you'd turn into Tiger Mother in the blink of an eye. If we were in trouble at school or with a neighbour in the street, you'd come out swinging, protecting us like a broody hen on steroids. Even when we were in the wrong, you taught us to be strong and to stand up for ourselves. Growing up, you smothered us with love, but you wouldn't hesitate in pulling us into line. You had a feather duster and a wooden spoon that had a bit of a sting in them. And I can remember your impressive talent of being able to chase us and flick your thong off in mid-run, not missing a stride, so that when you caught up with us, you had it ready to go. We always deserved it. I know we'd give you curry at times. You taught me so many things. How to love, laugh, cry, to be a strong black woman, to be a mum and a nan, nurture and love all of Mother Earth's animals, when to stand strong and when to be caring and kind, to trust my warders, the importance of family, the sense of mob, to look after and give anyone a hand that needs it. You also gave it your best shot to teach me how to sew, cook and have patience, but no matter how hard you tried, I couldn't get the handle of that one. You had a great love for Cold Joy, Human Nature and Jessica Malboy. You'd refer to the Human Nature as your boys. You also loved the bunnies, and you'd have some really good dust-ups with Dad when they played Manly. Our lives are always filled with animals. You passed your love of animals on to all of us. We always had at least one dog. We had cats, parrots, finches, quails, chooks, cockatiels, budgies, fish. There was also a time I can remember having a baby wallaroo who slept in a pillowcase hanging on the door. A baby peacock who wandered lost into the chook pen one day, so was given a roosting perch and grew up with the chooks. We also had a baby lamb called Uggy that you babysat for the Ugg farm. He had the run of not only of the yard but also the house. Life was never dull. You also taught me about our special connection with our birds, especially our magpies, our kookaburras and black cockies and crows. We always had spare bird cages for all of the injured birds or their babies that fell out of their nests that we could find over the years. Sometimes we'd nurse them and let them go or take them to the vet. I remember when you and Dad were training and racing greyhounds, the whole family was involved. You had me and Scott helping you walk them and feed them and take them to the vet and put them in their hydro bath you had for them in the yard. Those greyhounds were so spoilt. If they had a good trial in Cessnock or Singleton, the drill was they got an ice cream at the Big Oak on the way home. Ben also went around with you and Pop with the greyhounds. He knew a lot about the dogs for a 4-year-old. He even took a video of one of the races of the dogs had won to preschool for show and tell. When they played that tape, he called that race from start to finish like a professional. You're always there for me no matter what. I'm so grateful how you've guided and supported me when I fell pregnant and had Ben. You and Dad were a huge part of bringing him up to be a beautiful young man he is today. I could never thank you enough for that. You were so tiny, yet your heart and love you gave us was enormous. Your strength, wisdom and fire was bigger than anyone I know. Even in the past year or so, when you became so sick, you couldn't come out of your room, you still kept us all in line, including Dad. None of us were going to upset you. I'm still amazed at how well you picked up and used technology. I called you Mrs. Megabyte. You mastered emails, online games, Google, Netflix, Stan and online shopping. I'm sorry this is so long, I'm nearly done. You'd also shop online with Coles and say it felt like you could walk down the Coles aisles online. The problem was you'd overshop big time. It was always a standing joke about how many cleaning products you had in your cupboards. They were set up in their own aisles and you looked like you had more than Coles themselves. Then there was all the online shopping you did to get stuff for Dad and the dogs and the kids. They were all delivered to Scott's house. You'd have to make a few trips a week to bring all your parcels. The delivery man's going to be out of a job now, Mum. Being bedbound caused you a lot of frustration. You were just so active. You were always busy cooking, cleaning and gardening and working and looking after your imaginary animals and fishing, as well as being the best wife, Mum and Nan and Grannan. But you always lit up and had endless cuddles and love for all of us when we visited you in your bedroom, especially your boys. Scott, Ben, Jessie and Billy and their girls, Angie, Em and Cheyenne and Millie. Even more so for your great grannies, the girlfriend and Arlo boy. You weren't just my mum, you were my best friend as well. We could talk with each other about anything. We could have the best laughs and cries. You did have a cheeky sense of humour. You always knew what to say. You always shared your wisdom or growled me if I needed it, which was quite a lot. I'm going to miss you more than anything. I know you'd be feeling better now. And we'll always hold on to our precious memories and the huge footprints you've left behind. I know you will always be looking over all of us and waiting to give us a hug again. I love you and miss you so much it hurts. Thank you for being my mum. You right, son?
Yeah. The world's best Nan is my Nan. Nan, you were the most selfless person I'd ever known and will ever know. You always made sure everyone had what they needed and ensured everyone was okay before yourself. Even when your health declined, that in itself speaks volumes of the type of lady that you were, not to mention many other lovely traits and qualities. It still hasn't really hit home for me and it doesn't feel real. I think a part of this is because I don't want it to be true. And I hope that I'll wake up and it's all just a bad dream. The sadness comes in waves and I feel like a part of me is missing. But I guess you're now at rest and you're not suffering like you have been for the past few years. The fight you put up was tough, but you had your reasons for this, which was, we all know, was us. I'll always cherish all the good times and the memories we had over the past 33 years. I remember tagging along with you and Pop when you raced the greyhounds and laying in the back of the panel van with the dogs, running and playing under the grandstands at the Gosford Showground, to spending at least half of the school holidays each term helping you and Pop polish the floors at the schools you worked at. I think back about you going the extra mile even though you didn't have to, but that was just you. And I realise where I get my work ethic and OCD with perfection from, which has got me to where I am today. So for that, I can't thank you enough. There's many other memories that could come to mind and that I'll hold on to forever, but I'd be here for days. I hope you are at peace and continue to guide the family as you did when you were here, but now just in different ways. Me and Scott were talking the other day and we were saying how Dad would have probably met you at the gates to greet you, but we had a laugh and both agreed there wouldn't be any gates anymore as Dad would have taken them and scrapped them in for cash. Rest easy, my Nan, until we meet again.
Bill, would you like to come and say a few words now?
Are we on there? Yes. It's very hard to put into words the life that Lynn and I have had together. But as you can hear from the way the kids talked about her, she was and is a great woman. Always used to say, I was thinking, I used to sign the letters, we used to write love letters to one another. I used to always put on it, you'll love her forever. And that's what we done all the time. But, you know, it's no good crying about things, we're right. So, I'll meet you again one day. I love you. Or a big Sheila Bill, but carry on.
No, you're not, Dad. Come on.
Okay. Thank you very much. Oh dear.
I'm now going to read a letter on behalf of Angie that she's written for Lynn. Lynn, although you are gone, we are not alone. I'm sure you'll be watching over all of us. You will always be in my heart and a piece of me. For all the precious memories and our bond we share, I will never forget. You were the most kind, beautiful soul. I will never forget you accepting and loving me and my baby boy into your life and family, and treating me as your daughter and my son as your grandchild, and loving both my babies unconditionally. I'm going to miss you like crazy, but knowing that you're at peace and not suffering anymore puts my heart at ease. Thank you for always listening and never judging me, and always being there for me when needed. I wish we could sit and talk once again, because there is so much more I need to say. Thinking of you not being here with us causes me so much pain, but knowing you're not suffering and in pain puts my heart at ease. You were not only my mother-in-law, you were my mother and my friend. I'm going to miss you every single second of the day. My heart breaks knowing I'm not going to see you again. You'll be forever in my heart, beautiful lady. Until we meet again, fly high with those beautiful black cockies. Love you, Angie. Now, I just got a letter from Lynn's carer, who's Tracy, who's been looking after her for some time, so I'm just going to read that now. I've worked with Bill and Lynn for 2.5 years with aged care. I would visit them 3 times a week. First time I met Lynn, she was sitting in the kitchen table and Bill was in his chair. We all chatted freely and openly about lots of things. I loved the back and forth banter between them. It reminded me of her parents. Although the first year we got to know one another, I would love listening to her and their stories of how they met, her upbringing, her working at the schools, and her love for animals. I built trust, and after 8 months she finally let me into her room. I would pack away her online shopping and hide her stash of chockies and bickies from Bill. Lynn no longer sat in the kitchen, so our chats and cuppers would be in her room. We would watch crime scenes and would show her lots of TikToks about animals and have little giggles at some of them. She would talk about social media and how she hated Meghan Markle. I wasn't going to tell her I actually like her. Her favourite subject was her family. She would light up when Scott or Kelly would visit. Her whole demeanour would change. She would fill me in on what the grandchildren were up to and when the baby was going to arrive. What really brightened up was her girlfriend, an Arlo boy. She loved those babies and she would show me the latest pictures and fill me in on what they were up to. She had so much love for them. Lynn, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being there for me and listening to me. Having a whinge or encouraging words you would give me if I was feeling down. Thank you for being a surrogate mother when I lost my dad and mum within 3 months of one another. I will help look after Bill and Muffin and Jinder. I love you and I will miss you. Lynn, love Tracy. I now have a poem chosen by the family to read. Though her smile is gone forever and her hand we cannot touch, we still have so many memories of the one we loved so much. Her memory is our keepsake with which we will never part. God has her in her keeping. We have her in our heart. Sadly missed but never forgotten. We're now going to pause the service and we're going to put on some images on the screen. Each of you today have arrived here with your own memories of Lynn, and hopefully these images will also be able to make some new memories and leave with even a bigger picture of Lynn.
Well, Bebopalula, she's my baby. Bebopalula, I don't need a maybe. Bebopalula, she's my baby. Bebopalula, I don't need a maybe. Bebopalula, she's my baby now, my baby now, my baby now. Well, she's the gal in the red blue jeans. Oh, she's the queen of all the teams. Oh, she's the woman that I know. Oh, she's the woman that loves me so. Sing, Bebopalula, she's my baby. Bebopalula, I don't need a maybe. Bebopalula, she's my baby now, my baby now, my baby now. That's got that beat. Oh, she's a woman with the flying feet. Oh, she's a woman walks around the store. Oh, she's a woman gives me more, 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 more. Bebopalula, she's my baby. Bebopalula, I don't need a maybe. bebopalula, she is my baby now, my baby now, my baby now. Once more.
Teardrops are tomorrow's rainbows, and tomorrow's rainbows we will share, me and you. So dry your eyes, little girl, dry your eyes, and soon we will see skies of blue. Had a tough time getting started, maybe you're a little downhearted. All you gotta do is count to 10, baby you'll be smiling one of these days. Teardrops are tomorrow's rainbows, and tomorrow's rainbows we will share, me and you. So dry your eyes, little girl, dry your eyes, and soon we will see skies of blue. Getting started, and maybe you're a little downhearted. All you gotta do is count to 10, baby you'll be smiling one, 2 days. Teardrops are tomorrow's rainbows, and tomorrow's rainbows we will share, me and you. So dry your eyes, little girl, dry your eyes, and soon we will see skies of blue. Yes, and soon we will see skies of blue. Soon we will see skies of blue. Yeah, soon we will see skies.
Never before have I seen you look so blue. Can't find a cure, and nothing comforts you. The light at the end of the tunnel doesn't shine at the end of the day. Every time you cry, save up all your tears. I will be your rainbow when they disappear. Wash away the pain till you smile again. I will be the laughter in your eyes. Every time you cry, every time you cry. Time has a way of wounding what has healed. What can I say? I know just how you feel. Your soul is trouble, like a river running wild. Every time you cry, save up all your tears. I will be your rainbow when it disappears. Wash away the pain till you smile again. I will be the one who dries your eyes every time you cry. Every time you cry. Every time. Well, you know that's what I'm here for. I will give you when you need more. There'll be no hesitation. I will reap no reward. Every time you cry, save up all your tears. I will be your rainbow when they disappear. Wash away the pain till you smile again. I will be the one who dries your eyes every time you cry. Every time you cry, save up all your tears. I will be your rainbow when it disappears. Wash away the pain till you smile again. I will be the one who dries your eyes every time you cry. Every time you cry. Every time you cry. Every time you cry. Won't you wash away my tears? Wash away. Wash away.
She really did love it.
Some beautiful memories there. They're awesome photos. We're now going to give everyone an opportunity to come forward and say your final farewells to Lynn. Once the piece of music starts, make your way over, take a flower, place it on Lynn's casket, and that's your opportunity to say your goodbyes. It is now time to commit Lynn's physical body to the elements. But before we do that, let's be thankful and grateful for her life, remembering the impact she's had on your life. You'll remember Lynn with different memories that she leaves behind. Those of us who feel deeply will grieve deeply. We come into this world with nothing and we leave with nothing. However, the memories we leave behind with our family and friends are a mark of our success. Lynn, as you watch over those you love, I know when they listen to the ocean, it will be your whispers they hear. When a cool breeze caresses their cheeks, it will be your spirit passing by. You are gone, but you are not forgotten. You'll be watching over your loved ones and guiding them towards the future. Today is not goodbye. Today is thank you. Thank you for touching our lives and giving us joy. Thank you for the memories that we will cherish forever. Thank you for the good times and for your loyalty to your loved ones and your friends. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your laughter. We honour your life, your departure we accept, and the memories we cherish. We grieve at your death, but we have gratitude for your life and for the privilege of sharing it with you. We'll now tenderly commit your body of Lynn for cremation. As your spirit and soul rises from earthly being, know that your friends and family are here to say farewell. Earth to earth, dust to dust, we bid you peace and farewell. Can you please be upstanding while we say the Lord's Prayer? Please feel free to say it along with me. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, as we forgive us our sins, and forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, the power and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. Please be seated. Today you have come together to say farewell to Lynn, as you know. But we greet Lynn into new memories, and you will cherish them. We remember the happy memories of her life, and we are grateful for them. We are grateful that we've seen her face, we've heard her voice, we've felt her touch, and shared her love and friendship. On behalf of Bill and the family, thank you once again for joining us here today in the chapel and those who've joined us online. The family would like to say a huge thank you for the love and friendship that each of you have shown Lynn during her lifetime. Typically at this point of the service, I'd be inviting you all as a family to meet somewhere for a cup of tea, coffee, or I did admit you heard before bourbon was the chosen drink. But unfortunately, COVID has stolen this very special part of the day. What is still very important, however, that you find a way to share these memories. You've each arrived today with memories that you have of Lynn, a place and a time. I'd like you still to talk about that, in some way meet up and talk about those things. Memories are what keeps her alive in your heart. Thank you.
I wish that heaven had visiting hours, so I could just show up and bring the news that she's getting older. And I wish that you met her, the things that you learned from me, I got them all from you. If I just stay a while and we'll put all the world to rights, the little ones will grow wine. And soon they're going to close, but I'll see you another day. So much has changed since you've been away. I wish that heaven had visiting hours, so I could just swing by and ask your advice. What would you do in my situation? I haven't a clue how I'd even raise them. What would you do? 'Cause you always do what's right. We just talk a while until my worries disappear. I'll tell you that I'm scared of turning out a failure. You'd say, remember that the answer's in the love that we create. So much has changed since you've been away. I wish that heaven had visiting hours, and I would ask them if I could take you home. But I know what they'd say, that it's for the best. So I will live life the way you taught me and make it on my own. I will close the door, but I will open up my heart, and everyone I love will know exactly who you are.